$3 billion is going to allow you to do what exactly? Help your clients first and foremost?
Yes, it's really is all about our clients. If you look at what we think is today, really spurred on by COVID, what we would say is, this is our Henry Ford moment of the digital era. Like, this is the time when we believe there is a real different inflection point than pre-COVID, where what you'll see is the rapid re-platforming of global businesses. And our investment is about helping not just the digital leaders, but to help companies go more quickly to that replatforming.
And so, Julie, with regards to that replatforming, I mean, we've seen a lot of industries that already embrace the cloud in some form or another. Are there industries out there that effectively, I guess, hadn't done it so far and are effectively lagging behind?
It's a great question. As much as there's been a big focus on cloud, and certainly pre-COVID, we were talking a lot about it, on average, we're only about 20% in the cloud. And that's really when you start talking about replatforming, we think you'll get to 80% across most industries by 2025 in 5 years. And we would have said pre-COVID that was more like an 8 to 10 years, a decade-long transformation. With respect to the specific industries, I would say that it's more around almost every industry has some who are leading the way. And certainly there are bigger industries like, say, insurance that have lagged behind banking, capital markets. But in almost every industry, there are leaders today. The difference is we're now seeing a broad move to this, flip from 20/80 to 80/20.
Julie, it's interesting. You're working, of course, with some of your cloud partners like an IBM, like a Microsoft, like an Amazon. Is there a distinction between those? Of course, we know there are some big leaders within the cloud space, and I'm curious about how that makes you think about who you partner with.
Well, as you take a step back and think about it from the company perspective, which is where we start, there are differences. I mean, you have three big, what we call the hyperscalers, at Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. So in terms of the actual providing of the public cloud and the hybrid cloud. And then you kind of have everybody else. You have some stars like an Oracle that has a specific and important cloud in a very focused area. But for the public cloud, and it's really the three big hyperscalers. But this is about the replatforming of businesses. So I wouldn't look just at the hyperscalers. You need to look at the SaaS applications like a Microsoft with Dynamics, like a Salesforce, Workday, Oracle, SAP. And really, the entire tech ecosystem is moving to the cloud. We're working with Blue Yonder that's very big in supply chain, that's replatforming to Azure. So, the world, what's so significant about our investment today is not about a particular partner. It's about what's happening to business and why. The cloud is fundamental to the kind of resilience that we all saw that we needed in COVID. It's fundamental to be accessing data so you can figure out how to provide the right experiences, really be able to move to remote working and contactless at scale and do new predictive models. And so the cloud is a new foundation. That's what's different. I think we make a mistake if we say, what about this partner or this partner? All of those partners have a critical role to play in what is really a business revolution.
What about the critical role your own employees play within ensuring this digital leap forward occurs, and how do they do that at the moment? Talk to us about how your business model has changed up within the new paradigm shift, the pandemic forced work from home environment. How are people doing? How are you reorientating your own business model and the way you serve clients?
Well, so a couple of things. So we were probably the largest remote workforce one of the largest remote workforces prior to COVID in the world, because we're global and we have a model where we have people from all over the world working on teams supporting our clients, and we haven't had a headquarters in 3 decades. So for me, it was a seamless transition because I didn't transition in terms of operating our business remotely. My COO is in Belgium, my general counsel's in Chicago, I have market leads. So we are fundamentally remote. We're the largest user of Teams in the world with over 500,000 people, because this is fundamentally how we operate our business. think the difference today is really about sustaining our people at a time when we did go to client sites. That was one of the reasons we're so remote, is we were at client sites, and that's hard to not have that from an extended period of time. But where we're more focused on is adapting how we're working with clients. And that's what our announcement today about Accenture Cloud First is about. Because what we're doing is we're bringing our people together in a different model to help businesses do the change adoption they have to do, to understand what data, what applications, what ecosystem partners, and to partner with the ecosystem to create these solutions to move faster. And that takes the people from our interactive business who do experience, it takes our technology, it takes our industry experience and change management. And so we've less focused on how we're operating together because that's such a core competency, but how we need to operate differently with our partners and with our clients.
Will you be making acquisitions with the $3 billion? How do you serve better with that $3 billion?
Yes, so we really think of it in three different places. So we're going to be making acquisitions, and we'll do that for a couple of reasons. One is scale, so to go faster in some of the markets. You take in Australia, for example, or other markets that are starting to move faster. So we do make acquisitions for scale, but also for technology. We're going to be focusing on more automation, and so we'll be looking for acquisitions in that space. We'll also be investing in technology as well as industry solutions and architectures and data and the data maps that you need. And we'll do that very often with our clients. And then the last piece is in talent and sustainability. So we just introduced a tool that allows you to track how you moving a data center to the cloud helps reduce your carbon footprint. We're going to be embedding things like in the supply chain work that we do with our ecosystem partners and clients, so you can have the look at the integrity of your supply chain, and also, of course, in the talent development, whether it's reskilling or us or our clients. And so those are sort of the three big areas that we'll be spending our $3 billion, all focused on helping our clients.
All right, so Julie, looking ahead down the road here, I mean, you have this shift, this Henry Ford moment, as you say, as a lot of people, a lot of companies embrace the cloud finally and fully. A lot of benefits there. There are also a lot of risks there, particularly with regards to the protection of data and the general push now out there by a lot of folks to actually guard their data a little bit more. How do you sort of sell that to some of those companies that may be a little bit reticent about offloading their data to your servers or someone else's servers?
You know, it's a great question, and it actually starts with security. And so one of the most important things about the cloud is how secure it is and the investment that our ecosystem partners put in, and we as well do. And so some of the work that we do is embedding that security by design. And so one of the great advantages of the cloud is the security of that data. And when we talk about what's unique even about what we're doing with an industry is understanding by industry, what is the data that's important? Where should it be? How do you protect it? And then you have in the cloud the computing power to be able to actually have the right protections, be able to access it securely. So it's actually a really good thing. Now, at the same time, you've got lots of issues you got to address. And that's part of what we're bringing with our understanding of those rules and those industries.